Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been on the financial side of a funeral before?
Yeah.
No? Have you ever like known anyone who's been in a funeral or kind of seen what they cost or anything? No?
No.
Okay, well, funerals for a burial are typically about 14,000 in this area.
Hmm.
Um, and what a lot of people don't understand is that funerals are not, well, actually, insurance companies are not handling funeral costs the way that they used to. The way it used to work, Dan, is if something were to happen to you, your wife would take that $50,000 policy down to the funeral home,
Hmm.
and basically that would serve as collateral until that insurance check shows up.
Okay.
The way it works now, they used to have to pay in 24 days. Now they
Hmm.
have up to 60. If they find a loophole, even maybe more. Um, and why do you think that they can hang on to it for that long?
I don't know.
It's interest. Unfortunately, millions and millions of dollars are made off of interest,
Hmm.
and so many families are being burdened with out-of-pocket costs.
Hmm.
Another crazy thing that's going on is that there's two companies going around buying all the cemeteries and funerals.
Hmm.
One's out of Texas, it's called SCI, and the other one's out of Canada called the Autowood Groups.
Hmm.
Um, no joke, they want to become like the Walmart of the funeral industry. So, um, the only reason why I even mention this is that their corporate policy is that they require 50% down. And I don't know about your financial situation, but most families I sit down with don't have $7,000 lying around to pay
Hmm.
for a funeral. The ones that do, you want to save that because there's going to be so many other costs that's going to come in afterwards.
Hmm.
That's why we've come up with this. It's called the Freedom of Choice Funeral Certificate. What this is going to do, it doesn't matter where, when, how, why. It could be tomorrow, God forbid. It could be 50 years from now. It could be cancer, disease, anything in between.
Hmm.
Dan, anything happens to you, your wife is just going to take this funeral certificate down to the funeral home and they'll accept it. All right. In fact, they're going to love it because it's packed by big, powerful unions like yours and they know they're going to get paid. So, if you wanted traditional funeral, it's $15,000,
Hmm.
flowers, casket, all that good stuff. What you would do, you're just going to write $15,000.
Hmm.
Right here, you're going to fill in all the arrangements,
Hmm.
sign as a beneficiary. There's not one out of pocket cost to you as long as you keep the funeral under $30,000 for both of you guys. Okay?
Hmm.
Those are two big numbers. Whenever you leave, the funeral director is going to call this bottom number right here. That's actually our Syracuse number.
Hmm.
They're going to ask a couple questions. So the first thing that they're going to ask us is how much money you have to work with. Second thing they're going to ask is, are you enrolled? Well, of course you're enrolled. Now, if we told them, you had $30,000 to work with, how much do you think that's going to cost?
30,000.
Probably $30,000, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
And it shouldn't work that way. And what we do is we don't allow it to work that way.
Hmm.
So we're not going to reveal that number. We ask that you never reveal that number. Simply, we're just going to pay them that $15,000. We're going to cut your wife, the kids, the check for the difference, okay? It's the cleanest, simplest, most compassionate way to handle what's going to happen to all of us
Hmm.
eventually one day. It's sort of like a prearranged funeral. Have you heard of prearrangements?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, they're great in concept. I mean, it take care of everything prior to death.
Hmm.
What's great about this is that it's portable and permanent.
Hmm.
Um, most prearrangements, you're looking at $100 a month, and you
Hmm.
only get out of it what you paid into it.
Hmm.
This is a blank check for $30,000, and you both have this. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see why it's so important to have your funerals taken care of?
Yeah.
Yeah.